Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, verse 33, right?
Yes, sir.
Share the screen. Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, verse 33. Pragayata svaviryani
Pragayata sabiryani
tirthapatha priyasrava
tirthapada priyasvata
ahuta iva me sigram
ahuta iva me sigram
darshanam yati chetasi.
darshanam yati chetashi
Pragayata svaviryani
pragayata sabiryani
tirthapatha priyasrava
tirthapada priyasrava
ahuta iva me sigram
ahuta iva me sigram
darshanam yati chetasi.
darshanam yati chetashi
Pragayata svaviryani
pragayata sabiryani
tirthapatha priyasrava
tirthapada priyasrava
ahuta iva me sigram
ahuta iva me sigram
darshanam yati chetasi.
darshanam yati chetashi.
Translation purport by Stephen Grace. Abhay Charnarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Synonyms: Praghayatha, thus singing.
Pragayata does singing.
Swaviryani, own activities.
Swaviryani own activities.
Tirthapada, the Lord whose lotus feet are the souls of all virtues or holiness.
Tirthapada, the Lord whose lotus feet are the source of all virtues or holiness.
Priyashrava, pleasing to hear.
Priyasrava, pleasing to hear.
Ahuta, called for.
Ahuta, called for.
Iva, just like.
Iva, just like.
Me, to me.
Me, to me.
Shighram, very soon.
Shigram, very soon.
Darshanam, sight.
Darshanam, sight.
Yati, appears.
Yati, appears.
Chetasi, on the seat of the heart.
Chetasi, on the seat of the heart.
Translation, please repeat after me. The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna,
The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna,
whose glories and activities are pleasing to hear,
whose glories and activities are pleasing to hear,
at once appears on the seat of my heart,
at once appears on the seat of my heart,
as if called for.
as if called for.
As soon as I begin to chant his holy activities.
As soon as I begin to chant his
Very good.
The absolute personality of Godhead is non-different from his transcendental name, form, pastimes, and the sound vibrations thereof. As soon as a pure devotee engages himself in the pure devotional service of hearing, chanting, and remembering the name, fame, and activities of the Lord, at once he becomes visible to the transcendental eyes of the pure devotee by reflecting himself on the mirror of the heart by spiritual television. Therefore, a pure devotee who is related with the Lord in loving transcendental service can experience the presence of the Lord at every moment. It is a natural psychology in every individual case that a person likes to hear and enjoy his personal glories enumerated by others. That is the natural instinct. And the Lord, being also an individual personality like others, is not an exception to this psychology because psychological characteristics visible in the individual souls are but reflections of the same psychology in the absolute Lord. The only difference is that the Lord is the greatest personality of all and absolute in all his affairs. If therefore the Lord is attracted by the pure devotees' chanting of his glories, there is nothing astonishing. Since he is absolute, he can appear himself in the picture of his glorification, the two things being identical. Srila Narada chants the glorification of the Lord not for his personal benefit, but because the glorifications are identical with the Lord. Narad Muni penetrates into the presence of the Lord by transcendental chanting.
Hari Om Tatsadam Ajnanatimirandasya Jnanam Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namah Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Jaya Pathaka Swamin Ete Namine Namo Acharya Padaya Nitaya Kripa Pradhayine Gaurakatha Damadhaya Nagara Grama Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadhe Paschatya Desatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama Hare Gopal Govindaram Srimad Sudanam Mukam Karodi Vachalam Pangulangai Tegiri Matkirpatamam Desri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Meshwaram. So very beautifully Narad Muni is sharing his experience. The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, whose glories and activities are pleasing to hear. Why it is so pleasing to hear? Because it is non-different from Lord Krishna. So as soon as you chant his holy name, or as soon as a pure devotee, you talk of his pastime, at once he appears on the seat of my heart, as if called for. You just see the beauty. See, as soon as you begin chanting, this is what happens. And the Acharya Parampara is not only living by example, they are also sharing their experience and they are asking us to do the same thing. Okay, when you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, what happens is described in this particular verse. Because Krishna is non-different from his anything associated, whether it is his devotee or name or form or pastime, any sound vibration thereof. So when the pure devotee means one who is always engaged himself in the pure devotional service of 9 devotional service, hearing, chanting, remembering of the name, fame, activities of the Lord. So as soon as the pure devotee is engaged, Krishna is also engaged with the pure devotees. Immediately he becomes visible in the transcendental eyes of the pure devotee. So what is the transcendental eyes? Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena sandas sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti yam shyama sundharama chintya gunaswarupam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So when anointed with the love of God on the transcendental eyes, then Krishna becomes visible. Which Krishna? Shama Yam Shama Sundram. So Tribhangam, Tribhanga Lalitam Gunaswarupam. So Krishna is appearing in the lotus heart of the pure devotee. As soon as the pure devotee chanting or hearing or remembering or propagating the activities of the Lord. So that is the beauty of Krishna. He's proving that he is non-different with his pure devotee's narration of himself because he makes himself present. And the pure devotee can see him. And Krishna is reflecting the mirror of the heart. So this is called spiritual television, as Prabhupada writes here. This spiritual television does not require any EMI, no any hard earning money to be vested upon. Simply following the bona fide spiritual master or a pure devotee who is bona fide and follow in his footsteps by chanting and hearing from Guru Maharaj and chanting the holy name of the Lord, the spiritual television will be switched on. And as soon as the spiritual television is switched on, you will see Krishna in that spiritual television, not like a movie. That is the real. Everything else would remain like movie. The whole life would remain like movie. But that spiritual television where you see Krishna is absolute truth. And that is a real thing. So you will enter from the illusion into the real. So therefore, a pure devotee who is related with the Lord in loving transcendental service. A pure devotee means one who is related with the Lord in loving transcendental service. And that is the reason why he is experiencing the presence of the Lord at every moment. There is no missing of Krishna for a pure devotee. Because it is very natural by our mundane experiences on the perverted reflection of the spiritual realm. Also, if anybody is talking of you, glorifying you, oh, this person is very nice. Immediately you want to be present there and you want to hear that. This is a natural instinct. So Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, when constantly glorified about his activities by such a pure devotee and he does it out of love, he wants to be present there and supremely he wants to hear that. It is natural instinct. So because the Lord is an individual person and he has the supreme level of, attraction to hear his glories spoken by other devotees. So Prabhupada says even the Supreme Lord is not exception to this psychology, because psychological characteristic visible in the individual soul is also the reflection of the same psychology in the absolute truth. So if you want to hear about your glories, you want to be present when your glories are glorified, you are glorified. Similarly, the Lord also supremely want to be present where he is glorified, where his activities are spoken. So the only difference is that the Lord is the greatest personality of all and absolute in all his affairs. So if the Lord is attracted by the pure devotee standing of his glories, then there is nothing astonishing in that. Prabhupada is telling. Because he can appear himself anywhere. He is absolute truth. He is a supreme personality. He can appear himself in the picture of his glorification. Okay, so here Prabhupada says one is the Narad Muni chants the glorification of the Lord, and Narad Muni is not doing it for his personal benefit. But because the glorifications are identical with the Lord, Narad Muni is doing. And actually Narad Muni wants to see the Supreme Lord. And if he wants to see the Supreme Lord, he has to penetrate the place where the Supreme Lord is visible. And the Supreme Lord is visible when he is glorified. See how easy it is. This is shortcut. This is the Acharya Parampara's intelligent, pure intelligence of Narad Muni. So he started glorifying Krishna, and in this way, by through glorification, through chanting the holy name, one can penetrate into the presence of the Lord. So this is exactly practically experienced and followed by Narad Muni, and he is also in our parampara teaching the same thing. So here the 9 devotional services, when you do, what are you doing actually? You're chanting the holy name offenselessly. What are you doing? You are actually penetrating into the presence of the Lord, because the Lord is non-different from his holy name. So when you are chanting, you are penetrating where Krishna is present. So this is what Narad Muni is teaching us. Very nice. Next verse we'll go. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, verse 34. Etaddi atura chittanam Matra sparshe chayamuhu Baba Sindhu plavo drishto Haricharyanu varnanam Etaddi atur chittanam Matra sparshe chayamuhu Baba Sindhu plavo drishto Haricharyanu varnanam. Etadhi atura chittanam Matra sparshe chayamuhu Baba Sindhu plavo drishto Haricharya anuvarnanam. Synonyms. Etat, this. He. Yeah. He, certainly. Aturachittanam, of those whose minds are always full of cares and anxieties.
Of those whose minds are always full of cares and anxieties.
Matra, objects of sense enjoyment.
Objects of sense enjoyment.
Sparsha, senses. Ichaya, by desires.
By desires.
Muhu, always. Bhava Sindhu, the ocean of nescience.
The ocean of nescience.
Plava, boat.
Boat.
Drishta, experienced. Haricharya, activities of Hari, the personality of Godhead.
Activities of Hari, the personality of Godhead.
Anuvarnanam, constant recitation.
Constant recitation.
Translation, please repeat after me. It is personally experienced by me that.
It is personally experienced by me that.
Those who are always full of cares and anxieties due to desiring contact of the senses with their objects.
Those who are always full of cares and anxieties due to the desiring contact of the senses
with their objects.
Can
cross the ocean of nescience on a most suitable boat. The constant chanting of the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead. Purport.
The symptom of a living being is that he cannot remain silent even for some time. He must be doing something, thinking of something, or talking about something. Generally, the materialistic men think and discuss about subjects which satisfy their senses. But as these things are exercised under the influence of the external, illusory energy, such sensual activities do not actually give them any satisfaction. On the contrary, they become full with cares and anxieties. This is called Maya, or what is not. That which cannot give them satisfaction is accepted as an object for satisfaction. So, Narad Muni, by his personal experience, says that satisfaction for such frustrated beings engaged in sense gratification is to chant always the activities of the Lord. The point is that the subject matter only should be changed. No one can check the thinking activities of a living being, nor the feeling, willing, or working processes. But if one wants actual happiness, one must change the subject matter only. Instead of talking of the politics of a dying man, one might discuss the politics administered by the Lord Himself. Instead of relishing activities of the cinema artist, one can turn his attention to the activities of the Lord, like his eternal associates, like the Gopis and Lakshmis. The Almighty Personality of Godhead, by His causeless mercy, descends to the earth and manifests activities almost on the line of the worldly men, but at the same time, extraordinarily, because He is Almighty. He does so for the benefit of all conditioned souls, so that they can turn their attention to transcendence. By doing so, the conditioned soul will gradually be promoted to the transcendental position and easily cross the ocean of the nescience, the source of all miseries. This is stated from personal experience by such an authority as Sri Narada Muni. And we can have the same experience also if we begin to follow in the footsteps of the great sage, the dearmost devotee of the Lord.
That's so beautiful. Narad Muni is telling, I have personally experienced that those who are in the conditioned fallen state in the material world, who are always in anxiety because they want sense gratification and they are trying to contact their senses with the object that provides satisfaction. And but they are failing in their attempt, because even after obtaining the object for sense gratification, they're really not satisfied with their senses. Their senses are not really gratified. When they get what they want, the greed comes that they want more. When they don't get what they want, the angry comes that they are not getting what they want. In both cases, either they get the object for sense gratification or they not got the object of sense gratification. Both will not satisfy the senses, will not gratify the senses. This experience is very, very pathetic experience that Narad Muni has witnessed in the world. But if the same person, so much hankering with anxiety for this object for sense gratification, if the subject matter changes there, if he does put the hankering and put those particular attempt in achieving Krishna, then truly his senses will be gratified. And the fool does not know that. It is like he wants to eat apple, which is kept there. And he was seeing the apple in the mirror. And he's making all scientific attempt, intelligent attempt, physical attempt, psychological attempt to get the apple from the mirror. How it is possible, you tell me? Actually, the apple is not there in the mirror. It is outside. Similarly, the happiness is not in the material world. It is outside. It is outside. That happiness, that object of sense gratification, which gratify the senses of the conditioned soul, is not in this material world. It is outside the material world. Apara, para, two things are there. Anta Bahi, yesterday we saw. This Bahiranga Shakti cannot provide you any object for sense gratification. Rather, it will keep you always giving you faith that, yes, here is the sense gratification. The mirror's job is to not allow you to understand you are looking the apple in the mirror. The mirror will not show itself as if it is a mirror. It will show as if that is real. That is real. As long as you don't turn the other side. The moment you turn the other side, Paramatma sitting in the heart, you will see the Paramatma immediately. Then all the truth will be visible to you. So this is the fallen conditioned state of these particular living entities in the material world. Because anyway, the symptom of living being is to be active. They cannot remain silent. Something or the other they should do. Thinking, feeling, and willing are the general activities that they are engaged in. Accepting and rejecting through mind, they are doing every moment to moment. They want to talk of something. So they want to discuss about the subjects. which will satisfy their senses, whether it is in the parliament or it is in the scientific laboratory or it is in the school colleges or it is in the cinema theater or it is the pub or club. Anything they want to discuss is they want to discuss about that subject which satisfies their senses. And they don't know that any subject that they discuss here about material thing that cannot satisfy the senses, because this is the perverted reflection of the real thing. So they must discuss about their subject which satisfies their senses in the real sense, that it should be connected to Krishna. Then their senses will be satisfied. But what are they currently experiencing? Because of within the mirror you are searching for, you are trying to take the, you are not searching, you are trying to take the apple. You know the apple will give me the sense gratification, but you are trying to take the apple inside the mirror. So similarly, these things are exercised under the influence of the external Bahiranga Shakti, illusory energy, illusory. Because this kind of sensual activities, they don't actually give them any kind of satisfaction, for they are only trying to engage the senses and gratifying the senses on the illusion. First of all, they think this is my body. First illusion is that. So you are not really engaging your senses. You are also engaging the dead sense of the body, the hands and the legs and the, mouth and the tongue. But if the same engagement could be done without anxiety, simply on the absolute truth, because we are in the Maya. Maya means you become full with cares and anxieties. To keep you in full anxiety for sense gratification, by showing the sense gratificatory object, you strive for that, but it cannot give satisfaction. This is the material existence. So Narada Muni has his personal experience and he is telling that satisfaction for such frustrated beings engaged in the sense gratification, they are supposed to chant always the activities of the Lord. If they chant the activities of the Lord, then what will happen? Their senses will be naturally gratified. That means Prabhupada is identifying practically what we need to do. Your anchoring is correct. Your attempt is correct. But you are making your attempt on the illusory. Rather, you make the attempt really. Anyway, you are working hard. Why you want to work hard for something false? Work hard for the same thing true. That is Prabhupada's telling. Prabhupada is telling, only change the subject matter. That's all. Your attempt will be successful. Because you may anyway think, you may anyway feel, you will be under the hard working process for gratifying senses, and you want actually happiness. That is why you are striving, you are working hard. So Prabhupada is giving the secret. Fool, you are working very hard. I will give you the secret. Just change the subject matter, but continue to work hard as it is. Continue to feel, will, think, discuss, work hard, but change the subject matter. By talking about politics of a dying man is not going to give you any sense gratification. Rather, you discuss the politics administered by the Lord himself. How Krishna has created, how he is administering the whole material universe. Why you want to go to cinema and see somebody is acting some role which is unreal? You see the Lord and their eternal associates, they are playing in their different incarnations the real thing. Their drama is real. When the Lord incarnates as Narsingadev, it is a drama for the Lord, but it is real. He really comes and he really acts as Narsingadev. It is not like cinema. That is true thing, absolute truth. Why you are attracted to the cinema artist? Be attracted to the true artist. When the Lord comes in the different Vesha, sometimes he appears as Narsingadev, Vamana, Sridhara, Hrishikesa, Krishna, Balarama, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, what not. And along with their associate like Narad Muni came as Srivas Thakur, Brahma came as Haridas Thakur. So in this way, when they are coming and staging their play, it is not really drama, it is not cinema, that is a real thing. So if you see the real thing, why you want to see the drama on cinema? So in this way, the subject matter only you change, your activities you need not change. Prabhupada is beautifully giving. The true sense gratificatory path is described in this purport. Because by his causeless mercy, Krishna is descending to the earth. He manifests all the activities just like ordinary men. But at the same time, it's all extraordinary because he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he does this for our benefit, for the conditioned fallen soul's benefit. What is the benefit he wants from them? He wants to attract them. As soon as they are attracted to the true drama, true matter of sense gratification, true object of sense gratification, this is the purpose of Krishna's descending. So once the conditioned soul is attracted to the transcendental activities of Krishna, then yes, they will gradually be promoted to the transcendental position. Then they will cross this, but come out of this mirror and eat the real apple. So the source of all miseries is this particular material world. Here, when it is source of all miseries, how can it be source of happiness? Huh? It is only source of all miseries, it is read. It is not written that material world or the ocean of nescience is the source of both happiness and mistress. Nowhere it is written. Dukkalayam asashratam. He said, he didn't say sukha dukkalayam. Huh? So there is no sukha, there is no happiness actually existing in the material world. It is the source of miseries only. It is dukkalayam only. The Supreme Lord has told. Who else you want to tell? Why you want to try again? Don't waste time. And here Narad Muni, personal experience, he is telling. Narad Muni is such a great authority. He is the incarnation of the Lord. And we also have that experience. What Narad Muni had, what Narad Muni is telling here. We never gratified our senses despite all our attempts from time immemorial in different species of life in different planetary system. Never. So now at least come to full consciousness and begin to follow in the footstep of Narad Muni and the Acharya Parampara. After all, they are asking you to do what they are doing. And after all, they are asking you to gratify your senses by changing the subject matter only. Chant the holy name. Over to Shanta Gopi.
Oh, Hari Bol, thank you so much. Yeah. So very wonderful realization from Narada Muni. We are seeing here how Narada Muni is openly telling from my experience. It is personally experienced by me. So that those who are always full of cares and anxieties, okay, they are full of cares and anxieties. Why? Due to desiring contact with the sense, with their objects so due to the desiring to contact the sense objects. They are simple people. They are desiring, they are thinking they are the body. They are desiring to be in contact of the senses with their objects. So there are 5 senses like eyes, nose, ears, mouth, and the body. So there are sensory objects, touch sense, smell, taste. In this way, so I want to taste very nice food stuff. I want to smell very nice flavor. This maybe what do you say? Freshener. What do you say? The body freshener or what? The scent they want. In this way, for everything they want sense objects. Okay, fine. So what will this lead to? This will lead to lot of caring and anxiety. Oh, I want to buy this. I want to maintain like this. I want to like this. So one thing will lead to another thing to, okay, fine. So what is the solution Narada Muni is giving? Many times people misguide us. We should be very, very careful that we are Mahajanani Nagata Sapanta. Am I following in the footstep of a pure devotee? This we should be very careful. So they will ask you to restrain from sensory object. That is the solution. Mayavadi may give you. Any spiritually oriented person who is not really follower of Lord Chaitanya or Srivas Thakur or Narada Muni, they may give you some remedy. Oh, you should not be sense gratification. Don't do this. Don't look at the girls. Don't do this. Don't eat pleasuresome items like this. They will make you restrain. But here you see the secret Narada Muni is giving. Okay, the people are absorbed very much in fulfilling their own senses by sensory objects. So what is the result of that? It will result of always, they are always full of cares and anxieties. Why? Due to the desiring to contact their sense objects. Okay. Now, how to give remedy to this person? So they can cross the ocean of nescience. This foolishness, they can easily cross the ocean of nescience by the most suitable boat. What is the boat? Many times we hear that, oh, you restrain from sense objects. You don't be sense gratification person. Why you are sense gratification? No. Hear from Narada Muni. Hear from Narada Muni. The constant chanting of the transcendental activities of the personality of God. How to get liberation from these anxieties? How to get liberation? How do I get liberation from that? So somebody may be poor, somebody may be rich. The rich person may have many sense gratificatory facilities due to his past karma. There may be somebody poor who is suffering because of his bad karma. Somebody may be middle class, that the suffering and enjoyment comes back and forth. In this way, there is various situations we are put into. But all of us remain in the same situation due to whatever naturally coming without hankering. Without hankering, utsaha, nischaya, dhairya, tattat karma pravartanat. Do your own karma. With how? Utsaha, nischaya, dhairya, with great enthusiasm. Utsaha, nischaya, with great determination. Dhairya, fearlessness. You carry out whatever position you are in. Don't hear from people who are telling, oh, you're enjoying sense gratification. Why you're only small person? Why you want such a big house? Krishna has given me, I have a big house. I will conduct Bhakti Vriksha here. I will use it for the pleasure of Krishna. So Guru teaches us how to glorify Krishna according to our capacity. We constant chanting of the transcendental activity of the personality of Godhead with our own facility. Don't hanker. Oh, I have a big facility, then I will be chanting better. I can conduct big Bhakti Vriksha. No, you find a common place, or you find a person, find a common place, or find a person who will accommodate you for giving a Bhakti Vriksha class. Yeah, that can be done. But one thing, suke duke buloye nako vadane hari nam korore. It is not written in dukkha, I remember Krishna. So in sukha, you want to remember Krishna. Then your sukha will turn into dukkha. Very simple. Very simple to understand. So Narada Muni is giving here a suitable boat to cross over this ocean of nescience. The constant chanting of the transcendental activities of the personality of God. Continuously talk about Krishna. We cannot be silent at all. We keep on thinking and talking something. So generally, materialistic men always discuss about saying, hey, have you eaten this? Have you eaten this? I still remember I'm living in an apartment complex here, and it's very wrong to actually touch even peacock. Okay, peacock should not be, according to government law, it's a criminal offense to kill a peacock or to catch or torture a peacock. So it's a national animal, they said, national bird, they said. Anyway, it doesn't have much of a protection. Nobody comes and protects. So one day, these people, they go walking every day morning, the meat eaters. Then they say, have you eaten crow meat? Have you eaten frog meat? Oh, I have eaten this in rabbit meat. It was like this. In this way, they discuss every day various food items. They are walking to reduce their belly and weight, but they will talk only about foodstuffs. They will talk about various methodologies of preparing sense gratificatory objects. No problem, their tongue is pulling them. But for us, Lord Chaitanya and our Acharya Parampara has taught us to offer the foodstuffs without meat, without egg, without onion, garlic, some pure food to the Lord, and he eats the prasadam. So we are not sense gratificatory people. Insofar we are eating prasadam. So that has been very nicely taught to us. So it is not sense gratification. Restraining from sense gratificatory object is not actually Krishna consciousness. At the same time, if he is a Vairagi, too much going to the Grahastha's house to have a good food is also not good. Atyaharascha, prayasascha, that also is Rupa Goswami is mentioning. So we should play in a natural way, in a normal way we should play. Nothing should be done extremely. Extremely restraining is also not good. Extremely indulging is also not good. Normally we should be there. according to our own karmic background. Somebody may be rich, somebody may be poor, somebody may be suffering, somebody may be happy. In all situations, talking about Krishna is the only remedy. So for Grahasthas, Guru Maharaj has very clearly indicated that you weekly once at least you should call your neighbors and talk about Krishna. This is must for every Grahastha. If you are cooking, you offer to the deities and you eat and eat and eat only that prasadam. You don't share with the people who doesn't have Krishna consciousness. That is not appreciated. So call them, have a small teachings, get together, discuss philosophy, do kirtan, chant one round of Hare Krishna mantra, and after that, give them nice prasadam to the non-devotees, to the public, to the new people. You make friends and call 4 or 5 of your neighbors. Guru Maharaj says not more than 10. Small group. You can call a small group, a small circle of your friends. In that way, in neighborhood, you will have a good association also. That you won't have any complications. You won't feel lonely and in Krishna consciousness. So it's a compulsory that you only cook and you only offer, you only eat. Again, you cook, offer and you eat. Again, you cook, you offer, you eat. No, Grahastha should give the prasadam. Is anybody there to eat prasadam? They should call and then only they should eat. So that is not possible in the material world right now. We go and call outside. Our neighbor will say, we are not beggars. Why are you calling like this? Like they feel prestige issue. So Guru Maharaj has devised a beautiful plan that you don't go out and mechanically call like that because it is mentioned by Prabhupada or something mechanically. Don't do it. Rather, weekly once you call their neighbors and friends. And just for a small get-together of 1 or 2 hours. And in that, just one round of chanting and a very simple, sweet kirtan, if required, a small arati. And then you can give them some prasadam. Discuss some small Krishna Katha like Narada Muni is mentioning here. Some topic, and then you give them prasadam and send them away. That's a simple. So here, that which cannot give them, they are very anxiety because the sense gratificatory objects are not giving them satisfaction. They are so much in anxiety. So Narada Muni, by his personal experience, says that satisfaction of such frustrated being engaged in sense gratification is not to restrain from sense gratification. Sometimes you will see a Vairagi. They will always advise, oh, you don't involve in sense gratification. Keep away from sense gratification object. No. For example, if a boy is there, his mind is constantly thinking of a girl or girls in this way, then he should plan, how I may properly regulate my life in Krishna consciousness, beget Krishna conscious children, at the same time engage my sense in the service of Krishna. I can give home my salary and I can share my home with another Vaishnavi. I can get married to a girl so that I'll have a constant regulated life. At the same time, I'll be engaged in Krishna consciousness, not in sense gratification. How can we together glorify the Supreme Lord? I have a house, so she can cook for Krishna. I can distribute it in the Bhakti Vriksha. We both can cook. So in this way, he can get a companion who is a Krishna conscious devotee, not for sense gratification, but to regulating it in the service of Krishna. Automatically, senses will subdue. Not only subduing, but it will be used in the service of begetting beautiful, wonderful Krishna conscious children. So no one can check the thinking and activities of the living being, nor the feeling or willing and working process. So sometimes you hear that this is not Krishna consciousness. Detachment to material is not Krishna consciousness. Attachment to Krishna is Krishna consciousness. Always remember. You may be a very rich person. You may have good, like Pundrika Vidyanidhi. He was very rich. He had all the sense gratificatory objects. He didn't renounce them. That is Mayavada. Promoting detachment is Mayavada. Promoting attachment to Krishna is Krishna consciousness. Somebody may be poor. They need not hanker. Okay, I'll become a rich man and I'll give a big feast in my Bhakti Vriksha. No, you're a poor man. Give a simple prasadam. Or ask some other devotee to sponsor or make, and they will distribute, or ask 2-3 people to make little, and then you can distribute. Nice prasadam. Find a methodology rather than improving your economical situation or degrading your economical situation. Improving the economical situation or degrading your economical situation is not Krishna consciousness, but upgrading the talking of Krishna, talking more about Krishna, engaging more in Krishna conscious services. That is actually Krishna consciousness. And one more thing, in the previous verse, it was mentioned how Lord gets situated within the heart. I hear that people are so much frothing in the mouth in order to upgrade their Krishna consciousness. You chant, you hear what you chant, you do attentive chanting, you do this, then always meditate on the Shyama Sundara form of Krishna, like this, a static form. Why? How Krishna will get situated? Guru Maharaj is asking us to do Bhakti Vriksha. Every week, a Grahastha or anybody who is good in Krishna consciousness should combine their friends, 4 or 5 of them. They should read or they should discuss Krishna Katha with a little kirtan and a prasadam. If you're doing online, there may not be prasadam, but we can teach them, and each one can make their own foodstuffs, either fruits or something they can bring in the Zoom, and they can offer. Some program we can make. But the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, who is glorified and the activities are pleasing to hear, at once appear in the seat of my heart. You conduct a Bhakti Vriksha, Lord will appear in your heart. That's it. Read it. Read Bhagavatam. Read Prabhupada's purport. Hear from Acharyas. Hear from Guru Maharaj. Hear from Prabhupada. You will have a very clear idea of Krishna consciousness rather than getting carried away by various hearings here and there, which is totally misguiding. It may be very pleasing to your mind, but it is not pleasing to neither hear nor to act. It is not practical. So here Bhagavatam very clearly says, by Narada Muni says, glory, the Supreme Lord whose glories and activities. So when this is being done, at once what is happening? Lord is appearing in the seat of the heart. How? As if called for. You didn't call him. Many people are sitting and calling. While chanting Hare Krishna, you're calling Krishna. You hear nicely that, sorry, I'm thinking about Bhakti Vriksha, what to do, how to improve their Bhakti process. How can I'm not able to, something I'm hearing, something I'm not able to hear. So the person who is thinking constantly about the personal progress, getting Krishna is very, very difficult. But a person who is talking always about glorifying about Guru and Krishna and Gauranga and promoting this Krishna consciousness in the preaching, for him, the Lord at once appears in the seat of his heart. A selfish person has very little opportunity in Goloka Vrindavana. The Goloka Vrindavana is full of selfless person who always sing the glories of the Supreme Lord and always think of the welfare of others rather than welfare of personal progress. The personal progress is very spontaneous and easy when somebody is following the order of the spiritual master. So when we glorify the name, form, pastime and the sound vibration, then automatically the Lord gets established within the heart. And not only that, the other materialistic person, when such glorification is sincere, according to Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, not that I will talk Vrindavan pastime, I will talk about Krishna. No, hear from your Guru and talk about material world, about Bhagavad Gita, about Bhagavatam, whatever you hear from spiritual master, we will talk everything like Chaitanya Prabhupada spoke. Not that, okay, I have to speak about the activities of Lord Hari. Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord Hari, speak about him, but you will go to Vrindavan pastime. In Vrindavan, Krishna, have you seen? No, you have not seen it. What do you know about Vrindavan? What do you know about Radharani? What do you know about Krishna? No, we speak from the scriptures. We speak from what Prabhupada has given us. So we have a regular Bhakti Vriksha material from the small books of Prabhupada, and we use that material in order to promote Krishna consciousness. That is the way we do it. I will always glorify Lord Hari. And I will tell some pastimes. When already somebody knows the pastimes of Krishna, then I will talk about Rama. And when somebody already knows all the pastimes of Rama, then I'll talk about Mahabharata. In this way, we deviate the entire crowd and we also get deviated from Acharya Parampara and Srila Prabhupada. So we should be very, very careful about all these misguidances and stick to Srila Prabhupada's purport and our dear Guru Maharaj's teachings. Then we will really be promoting and we can see Krishna face to face. And we can feel the Supreme Lord Hari. There is absolutely no problems you see here. As if called for, he is appearing in the heart. Not only that, we can recover all the people who are in the anxiety due to the sense gratification. And don't go and tell them you are in sense gratification. Give up this, give up that. No, give them Krishna consciousness. And when you give them Krishna consciousness, request them to chant in a friendly way, then they'll start chanting. Gradually, you can tell that the meat eating, gambling, illicit sex, intoxication is bad. That comes later portion, not in the starting. The starting is introducing them to sweet Krishna conscious movement along with chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That's all. And later, gradually, you will tell that eating meat is wrong. This is wrong. Gradually, you will tell only these 4 principles, not totally restraining from sense gratification, but devotiling the sense gratificatory object in the service of Krishna. So, very amazing system we have in Krishna consciousness. So, we should be intelligent enough to follow Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj and our Acharya Parampara in a sincere manner, not getting deviated from Krishna consciousness. So, Om Tat Sat. Grandaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Over to Vrajeshwar Gaur
Any
Prabhu.
questions, comments, or realization, please share with us. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thank you very much for the association. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Patita Pavan Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Patita Pavan Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So we will meet up at 5 o'clock.